Here's every book that I've rated 5 stars this year. You've seen the title. I thought it would be fun to go through and give them like alternate descriptions to convince you to read them. I don't know, something about it was just really funny to me. I just kind of wanted to roll with that. As we're doing this, I'm not going to give you like the real description or anything. Like, of course, feel free to look it up, but that's like not the point of the video. We have 7 books here. Let's get on with it. A lot of these came out this year, actually. Like, I'm pretty sure. Wow, okay, so like most of these books came out this year. That's crazy. That's crazy work on my part. All right, you saw this one. It's in the thumbnail. I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. I was just kind of picking this up to hopefully cure my reading slump. It worked better than I could have ever expected. As for its alternate description, girl chokes on a burger and then must stalk her soulmate to come back from the dead. How fun is that? Read it. This one was such a surprise to me, it being 5 stars. I've read quite a few Sarah Adams books. They're honestly usually just like, let's pass some time. It's not the best thing I've ever read. There's just not like a lot of depth there. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. My alternate title, I had so much fun coming up with these, by the way. I like was sitting there like thinking of different ones. 2 teachers fall in love after committing a felony. I don't know, you're just gonna have to read it, okay? Okay, next we have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Oh, there's my bookmark I've been looking for. Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Love this cover. Literally such a good book. Slightly painful, like it was tough to read at times. Just the thought of like, this is one of those books where the whole time you're just like, I'm glad that's not me. That was how I felt the entire time. The devil holds a girl captive for decades and she develops Stockholm Syndrome. Be sure to pick that up. Lord of Sparrows. This was Denby Perry's first fantasy book. I have 2 authors here who are doing their debut in fantasy, and they both killed it. Like, absolutely killed it. I've mentioned before that Denby Perry, her books are not my favorite. I've only read, well, I've read 1. I've completed 1 book, and I DNF'd the other one. That does not bode well, but I am all for giving people chances. Like, I don't care. If it sounds good, I'm gonna give it a go, you know? Beautiful hardcover, just by the way. Beautiful artwork. Girl sent to overthrow a kingdom struggles when the king is hot. I feel like that tells you all you need to know. I had a few alternate ones for this. However, I did feel like they were too spoilery, so I kept it a little short and simple. The fantasy ones were a little harder because I was like, so much of it is a spoiler. Even just bringing up what happens after the premise on the back, it's just like, you know, so short and sweet. Okay, Rose and Chains, my most recent 5-star. It is still living rent-free in my head. This book is still living rent-free in my head. If you've read it and you'd like to see a reading vlog on it, that was my last video. However, it's full spoilers. I do give you like a better description than what I'm about to give you now, and then I cut it off after 3 minutes of the video if you were interested in that. But I highly recommend this book. This book was the best way that I can describe how this made me feel. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. I was never bored. Julie Soto, I've read a few of her contemporary romances. I've liked pretty much all of them except for Forget Me Not. Was it Forget Me Not? I'm pretty sure it was that one. But this blew me out of the water. Like, this was so good. You would think that she's been writing fantasy for a while. It is so interesting to me how she can make more mundane moments that are like lengthened out over a couple chapters so interesting. I was eating it up. I was fully eating out of her hands. It was so good to me and I'm still thinking about it, by the way. My childhood crush buys me in a slave auction. Need I say more? What could possibly happen is what you're wondering. I know you're wondering. Pick it up. Gun to your head. Pick it up. It's so good to me. The Happily Ever After playlist. This book is kind of one of my funniest 5-star reads. When it comes to a 5-star read, it's either the feeling it gives you or overall it was just a good book, a combination of the two. This book talks heavily about grief, and I just am always amazed at Abby Jimenez's talent for discussing such hard to talk about concepts. Like, when people are going through stuff like that, they don't talk about it. So it is nice to see the inner monologue. This book almost felt therapeutic, like talking about the grief. And I think that's partially why I rated it 5 stars, because the ending of this book is absolutely insane. It's so goofy. It does give, like, I saw some people were like, this is low-key giving like Justin Bieber fan fiction. Insert me in. One Direction is asking me to come to the stage. Like, I'm there. Struggling artist falls in love with a grieving widow and is able to write songs again. I'm not going to explain it. Another Abby Jimenez. I figured I would put both of them together. This was a 5-star read. I know people were crying. They were boo-hooing all over the street. They were like, she mentioned TikTok. Wah. Mentioned Akatar and Resand. Wah. I don't care. I've talked about this again multiple times. When it comes to the era books are written in, there will be identifiers of that era. It's like whenever I read books from the early 2000s and it's like, she put on her fishnets, she reached for her galaxy leggings. Like, I disregard all of that. She's wearing what I want her to wear. She looks like what I want her to look like. She's not wearing that on this mission with me. So a lot of that you just have to look past. And like Facebook, MySpace, all of these things are mentioned in books. You know? So it's like, I don't befront her for putting like TikTok in. However, doing a trends come and go, babe. Trends are here one day, the next day they're cringe. Don't discuss trends. The mention of TikTok, though, oh, I saw that on TikTok, or, oh, whatever, but, like, it doesn't need to go too in-depth. Like, in the same way that people are like, oh, I saw a post on Facebook that led me to believe this, and it led me down this alley. Like, sure, if it has a purpose, put it in, but, like, we're not just adding things for shits and gigs. Like, it has to apply to the story, you know? So I don't fault her for that. I do fault her for wanting to do a TikTok trend, and I do fault her for mentioning Resand more than twice. People were making it out to be like that was, I don't know, it's just not that important. Like, what is in here? Like, she's just so good at emotions, like grieving, and the way she talks about death, the way she talks about how hard long-distance relationships are. Abby Jimenez has such a talent about making feelings feel accurate and not inauthentic. That is such a hard thing to do, and it's such a hard thing to make people feel the way you want them to feel. I can read it all day. You can't tell me how to feel. You have to make me feel that with your words. And she does such a good thing. Like, she's just so good at it. Abby Jimenez is such a talented writer to me, and I always feel things with her book, even my books that are not 5 stars from her. I'm picking up what she's putting down. After trauma bonding while being locked up, 2 strangers enter a long-distance relationship. You want to know. You want to know what happens, don't you? I literally hope this was fun for anybody who watches this. I'm like, it's gonna be a really short video, but like, I feel like it was a fun concept to me. I feel like watching videos and the descriptions get like too long. You kind of zone out. You're like, I could have read that myself. But I feel like this gives you a little bit of the story. So I feel like that makes it more fun because you know, like, going into it that it's not exactly what you think. Like, the story is never as simple as what you think. 2 teachers commit a felony. You're like, I thought this was just a chill contemporary romance. No, babe. No, babe. Like, stuff's going on. Stuff is going on. Shit is hitting the fan. You cannot look at a book and even guess half of what's going to be in there. And that's the fun of reading. I love reading and I love love. That's my sign off. Bye!